DC's turn to battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of Digital Chaos versus EHOME. The winner of this solitary single game wins the group. The loser, well, they still finished second, and they're pretty damn pleased with their group stage overall. But it's nice to be able to choose your opponent, Maud, because if you win that first match on the main stage, you are into the top 4 of the upper bracket, which I believe guarantees you top 8, I want to say. Or is it top 6? It's either top 8 or top 6.
I think it was top 6 at Manila, so I think it's the same, I believe.
Yeah, so you're, at that point, you are seriously in the money. That is a big match. If you somehow lose your first 2 best-of-3s, you still finish 9 through 12, but that's a steep drop-off as far as prize pool goes. So, yeah, I believe you're top 6 at that point.
Yes.
Yes, because there's 2 teams way in the lower brackets. Yeah, you'll be top 6. That is a pretty good place to be. So, with that said, of course, you got to win this game first. EHOME, starting off the draft the same way as far as picks go. They are Radiant side this time. They get the Shadow Demon. Digital Chaos, showing some respect towards the Alk, will ban it out.
I'm surprised both of these teams were able to play at such a high level for so long. And we really... I think EHOME's mistakes last game were some of the few mistakes we've seen from them this entire tournament so far.
Yeah, they've had a much more dominant group stage than DC up until now. Like,
yes.
When they've won very convincingly almost every game. DC has had some real nail-biters.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But DC, they definitely impressed me in that last game. But again, like you said, you have to win this next game to get it all, to get that first place victory. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of fans out there that would be very pleased to see DC win. But again, EHOME is a team that is very difficult to play against. They are very good for a reason, and they made it through the wild card for a reason as well. This EHOME squad is very, very strong. They have a lot of different game plans they can go for. They have a lot of different drafts they like to run. And that was one of the first times where I feel like a Shadow Demon Luna game plan didn't really work for them or for anybody in general. I mean, there's been a lot of teams that have run that particular strat, but that's a second pick Nyx Assassin coming out, LD.
That's very early, but this is a hero that matches up great against Nyx and Mirana. The Jug, grabbed again. It won't be the Kunkka Siege cheese, but it's still a strong duo. It's a very defensive draft to get things kicked off, and it leaves the laning flexible. We've seen this opening quite a few times. I think it's one of the stronger openings in the patch right now, and it's also very rarely banned out, so you can generally get your hands on it in the first phase.
Yeah, this Nyx Assassin is something special, I think, with a lot of potential for ganking. And
the big thing that, if I'm DC, I am thinking about, though, is Huskar. If it's possible they could take it. Huskar's not okay against Jug Shadow Demon.
I think it's more likely that EHOME grab it based off of their last couple of games, especially, 2 games ago they ran it and crushed VGR with it very convincingly. And again, it was one of those games where they had a Juggernaut, they had a Legion Commander, and they had a Warlock. So it's not like those are, Oracles or Dazzles with your heals. Those are still all 3 very good healers with Shadow Word, Press the Attack, obviously, and your Healing Ward. They're not the best, but they worked. And it wasn't only that, but also the fact that they just played well, again, overall as a team. There's a lot of good movements, a lot of early ganking, and DC, they just don't want to leave it up to chance. They don't think that, we should just give up a Huskar pick here to EHOME, and I don't blame them. I think that's fair, and I think it's a good ban.
Yeah, even if you can draft lineups that counter Huskar, you don't know if they're going to pick it, and then if you overcommit to countering Huskar and then they don't pick it, you can end up in a hole. So just easier to ban the damn hero and move along with your day.
That's what I think.
Will DC do anything cheeky or unusual here? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Both teams have run IO a lot. We have seen...
I'm trying to think of what else is very strong right now.
I think they might be considering Batrider here.
I'm surprised EHOME didn't get rid of Riki. I think that had a big enough impact that they might be a little bit concerned about the Riki in this game.
Running Riki, Nyx, and Mirana, though, your team is hard countered by Gem.
I mean, like, the sentries that you are... Like, that sentry is going to get so much worth. Or the Gem, whatever you decide to buy. That's very true. The 3 Invis heroes, you're absolutely right. So
that lineup is also really bad against just pushing. And EHOME are likely... They could turn this into a heavy push strat, though they don't have to. So DC need to be very careful about their next pick. Something that offers a bit of wave clear or split push is ideally what they want to be grabbing.
I'm wondering. And again, I'm wondering how they're going to use this Mirana.
Will we see that Coddle again, do you think? EHOME's been running a lot of it.
I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, well, EHOME, yes, I think so. For DC, I'm less sure of whether or not they would like to, first of all, whether they play Coddle, or secondly, whether or not it's a good pick in this situation against this squad. It's not like they're playing against any Illusion heroes, although Juggernaut doesn't really give you that much to go off of, because again, it can be played mid, but how much have we seen actually a Jug mid in the past 2 days? You know, first day we saw our fair bit of Jug mid, but was there any Jug mid yesterday or today, really?
With, what is it, like 50 games a day? I honestly couldn't tell you.
It's really hard to tell. Like,
I don't
cast
think
a lot of Dota, honestly.
It was definitely not common if it was being played.
We cast a lot of Dota, and it's really hard for us to keep up. You know, there's 4 monitors out there.
Ton of Dota.
There's 4 monitors out there, and if you could keep your eyes on like every game, you're, I don't know, inhuman to me, I think. But there's the Dazzle, but again, we talked about there is no Huskar, so they just want a good defensive support that, you know, DC have run a fair bit, and this is going to mean that, well, actually, we don't know.
To me, I think EHOME might just grab the Axe here. They love running that old 11 Axe. It's great against Dazzle. This could be a Terrorblade pick for DC. Disruption sets up for Axe really well. I honestly don't see any reason not to get Axe here. I think it's just too good to pass up. And the one other thing Dazzle gives you is the Weave, which discourages pushing pretty heavily if it's a well-placed Weave. And
it's on the dire side, so you can just throw it in Roche as well. If you get weaved inside Roshan, you have to be very careful with how you approach the engagement, or if you continue to do Roche. We'll wait and see.
No, all right, they are gonna Naga. So Keeper is quite possible as a pick. It could be a bait. It could be a bait. It could still be a support Naga.
Like we saw yesterday, where they picked support
Naga. And EHOME do run support Naga, so frustrating to draft against the few DC. You're like, all right, this is surely a carry Naga. Oh wait, is it?
Well, again, Mirana does do a pretty good job dealing with Naga, especially in the early game, I think.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't get too discouraged, and nor should you put all of your eggs into the counter push basket. Now, Legion does help with that as well, with the overwhelming odds, but the Undying comes out for EHOME. It's all about team fight for now, with the exception of the Naga.
All right. So now you know it is a carry Naga. And it could be a very long game.
Unless we're seeing the first carry Undying. I think we've ever seen. That'd be funny.
Sometimes we see a farming Undying, but carry Undying. That is like tall.
3-roll Undying is kind of common, sort of. That's about it. But for DC, the question remains as to what they want to do with their last support, or what I imagine to be their last support. Mirana mid for Weeha, Nyx Assassin off lane for Mu. Maybe, and Legion Commander safe lane for Resolution, but then again, it's another very open-ended draft, whereas for EHOME...
Just ban Terrorblade if you're EHOME.
I would say...
Sand King bans are a clear tell that they're looking to run TB, I think.
We'll see. They have plenty of time left. I'm just thinking... Again, DC have such an open-ended draft that...
There's the X. I thought they were going to third pick it. I'm a little surprised they got the Naga first. Like, the order they did was
there it is.
Not a TV.
They gave the Weeha Meepo away.
Sup, says Weeha.
They're like waiting the entire tournament.
Is this a good Meepo game, though? They have... Axe is really good against Meepo. They have Soul Catcher. The rest of their lineup's not great. I think it's an okay Meepo game, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Especially with Dazzle. Well,
if Axe pops off, he can just destroy Meepo. But
this would be a great Meepo game if there wasn't an Axe. This is the thing. It would be amazing. I think it would be an amazing Meepo game if there was no Axe in this game. But still, I can't believe they gave it away. Every team is like known for banning this hero. Some teams even ban it first too, but that's rare. And usually in the North American scene, Meepo is picked up for EHOME, or excuse me, for DC, and Weeha is known. He is a very good Meepo player. Like, if you don't know about Weeha's Meepo, then hopefully he plays.
You're about to find out.
That he is.
If anyone plays a better Meepo than Abed, it would be the Weepo.
I would agree completely. And we'll see where they send him. More than
Prepare
likely,
for battle.
probably mid.
Generally goes mid.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, and the way he has picked up his items, poor man's shield to GG branches and probably 2 shared tangles later on. I think he will more than likely go mid at this point in time. But we have to keep our eye on the other heroes in this game. In particular, EHOME's Naga Siren, played by Ice Ice Ice. Now, I was thinking about Ice Ice Ice's Naga, and going back like a couple of years now. Do you remember the Summit All-Star game, the big one, the one that everyone loved?
Oh yeah, with Smash and Jackie Mao. And
Was it Ice 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 playing the Naga in that game? I feel like it was, because that was the one hero that got them back in the game.
I want to say so, yeah.
I think it was him. I remember that performance being legendary, and I know it's not, CM or a regular mode of Dota, but it was really cool to watch. But yeah, Ice 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 is really good as a hero.
that was one that actually was decided by running out of heroes, right?
I think so.
Like,
yeah.
nobody won the game as far as killing buildings.
Yeah, it was out of who ran out of heroes. I mean, they just ran at each other for the most part until Ice 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 got his Naga, and then they slowed the game down significantly for like 20 to 30 minutes or something like that.
All right, Mott, is your body ready? Are your nips ready for this?
They are always ready, David, for something like a Meepo. In fact, you know what? It's just Dota in general, the nips are ready, but now,
all right,
especially
folks,
so.
Get your nips ready. It's DC versus EHOME. It's game 2. Winner of this game wins the group, chooses their opponent for the first round of the upper bracket at the main stage of the biggest tournament in esports, the International 2016. Let's go.
So now, I haven't seen Weeha's Meepo in quite some time, usually because it's been banned out. I'm trying to think of what he has gone in the past, just in general,
like item build. I imagine he's going to do a similar build to Abed. The Dragon Lance just seems too cost effective to pass up. Aghanims is core, so the build generally is Aghanims, Dragon Lance. Sometimes you'll get a blink. Sometimes you'll just get the double Dragon Lance right away. It really depends.
Dragon Lance.
If you have another initiator.
Sometimes you get the Hurricane Pike for even more mobility as well, and you keep the same stats from the Dragon Lance on top of that. It's a very interesting
It's not
item.
as cost efficient. Generally, blink is the choice, just because you can blink in and poof all the meepos on top of him. Oh my God, Saksa!
Wow, that arrow? We gotta hit Lana, but they can't follow up with this. 2 points or 2 stacks of decay already makes Lana very tanky. And again, Misery playing the support Mirana means that he has wet noodle right click, no Drow to help him out, no items to make his base damage even higher. And now it's gonna be resolution against Ice 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 in this top lane, this aggro try coming up for EHOME, and this is gonna be the most interesting lane. But how much help are they gonna give Weeha mid, or Old Chicken for that matter, against this Meepo?
So it's Axe versus Nyx. Definite advantage for Axe in the lane, but Nyx can still get levels and sit back at least. Mid lane, Jug shouldn't die to Meepo. He always has Blade Fury to get out of trouble, even when there's double Meepo. The poof, of course, being magic damage. It's not really a lane where you can kill, but once there's 2 Meepos, he can start to pull ahead in CS. So expect Old Chicken to try to push it his advantage as much as possible, just these first couple waves, and get what he can out of the lane. The big question for me, Mott, is the aggressive tri-lane. I feel like EHOME, with the Undying, should be able to run the lane over pretty convincingly, unless Misery hits a really good arrow.
I mean, that's what this hero is for. We talk about his late game potential, and Undying is not the best late game hero by any stretch. He does not scale that well, but early on in the game, he could get a couple of double or triple decays and absolutely wreck base, not to mention his Tombstone being ungodly good, as well as Soul Rip. So this is his job, is to make sure this tri-lane goes well for EHOME, and we'll see if that's going to be the case, as he's going to secure the top 2-minute rune spot, as right now Weeha is aggressively jungling across the river on the other side of the map.
Yeah, these are just a few of the many tricks you'll see for a top-tier Meepo player. Shoves in the lane with the poof, then goes to farm the jungle.
Fenrir solo, he has to salve up. They can't quite get the kill. The overwhelming odds almost got the job done.
Close call there.
Ooh, and there's that double decay. That's frightening. But going back to the Meepo, the last time he played it in a series, in a actual competitive environment, was Canada Cup, and they played it against Complexity. He went 8-3-9, Hex, Blink, Dragon Lance, bots, and Aghanim Sifter, of course. So
okay, so he did not go E-Blade. The Hex is more important when there's a hero that is either very elusive or has some, way to cause problems if you don't instantly burst him during the disable. Because you see a move on top lane, resolution.
Good overwhelming odds, move speed,
that's
and
a
Soul
lot
Rip.
of damage. This lane is going to be really rough for the Legion. as it progresses. Does salve up. CS seen okay for now, but it only gets harder as EHOME look to move in. We still haven't seen the tombstone unveil. The one thing about the lane is they're a bit lacking in, like, I don't know, chase potential, I would say, and they also don't have that many ways to cancel TPs. Normally you're going to initiate, as All Chicken Blade Furious calmly dodges the arrow here, gets aggressive on Weehaw. Normally you're going to initiate with the disruption, so unless Naga has net, you don't really have a way to cancel a TP out.
Yeah, that's the thing. And also for resolution too, he could just... The one good thing is that if he has mana, he could spam his overwhelming odds to CS. He doesn't need to be up front, you know, right-clicking in order to get it. And Lana will go ahead and deny himself his mid lane. Double pounce. There hits two, and that's going to be first blood. That is a long-duration arrow stud, and Misery hits it perfectly with the setup coming up from the Earthbind, which was beautiful from Weehaw.
Yeah, Blade Fury has a pretty long cooldown at the early levels. It's 34 seconds. Be a wild poof, 8 seconds. So there is a long window where you can punish the Blade Fury being on cooldown. And so you're going to take that arrow. Chicken has no chance. So now Meepo off to the races. Juggernaut will not be able to win the lane 1v1. They're going to rotate Old Lanham in temporarily. This frees up the top lane. It gives the Legion Commander an easier time. It's going to be up to Old 11. It was the Old 11 show earlier today, Mott. I think he has to have an equally, if not more, explosive performance. Yeah, later on in the game, Meepo can shut down Axe once he gets farmed enough, but there is that window from like 10 to 20 minutes, I would say, before the Meepo gets his 2 or 3 items, where if Axe consistently finds ganks or punishes the Meepo's lack of presence at fights, you can get enough of an advantage to stay in the game. But if he doesn't have that impact, they're going to have a really hard time dealing with Weehaw.
This Axe is doing really well in lane 2. 35 last hits to the 14 of the Nyx Assassin right now, and will continue to do so as he picks up a full Vanguard at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Weehaw coming in. He's got Luke. He's got to use it to clear up at least the creep wave and bring up his second clone, or I guess first clone, and then the Meepo Prime as well.
Fair.
Shreds was the choice, by the way.
Bear in mind that this is a lot of melee heroes on DC, especially when you count all the Meepos.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it's a good Axe game.
Vanguard, definitely a good choice here.
Very good Vanguard, very good Axe game in general, and he's going to have to deal with Misery rotating down here, but then, of course, taking the lane will be Ice Ice Ice. They've blown up the aggressive tri-lane. They figured out that it didn't really do as much as maybe they had hoped.
But yeah, they need that X performance because Naga has a much slower tempo than Meepo. Meepo flash farms way earlier, way harder. He will get 6-slotted long before the Naga does. And he still matches up pretty well against her, even if they're both 6-7 slotted. I mean, 7 slotting being much less relevant for Meepo, but it's definitely a matchup where Weehaw will be far ahead and come online unless they can find pickoffs. They're looking for one now mid.
Axe, they are going to have to put away, and they do get it in
Old
time.
11.
Yeah, they went a little too early.
Surprised he's going for that gank.
Yeah, that was...
Has no boots.
Optimistic.
I feel like EHOME is like, oh shit, Meepo's having a really good start. We don't have anyone else who can shut him down. Let's bring Axe to the lane. Oh wait, no boots. No blank. How do we actually stop him from poofing away? That
makes a lot of space for the rest of DC. They're going to poison touch on him top lane. No duel, although they're close. But look at the Shadow Wave coming out. He does have Soul Rip on cooldown. Decay will go through and actually keep him alive. That top lane. Overwhelming odds almost brought him down.
And you all bottom as well. Ice 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 getting caught out. Hey buddy, I'm the real multi-hero here.
Wow, Weehaw rotated very quickly and found a kill. That was a very nice setup. There must have been, there's no vision down there. He must have just walked in, or I don't know, did he TP? I didn't see the beginning of that gank. I don't think he did. He has it off cooldown.
Yeah, he just ran in, I believe. This is not good for EHOME. This is not good at all. Axe hits boots. Ganky Meepo without an Axe Plank is not the easiest thing in the world. More importantly, they need a lot of time because not only is Meepo having a great start, Naga is having an abysmal one. 1900 net worth. Sure, 24 CS, but he's only level 4 at 7 minutes. That's very low level for a Naga.
She had to switch lanes too, instead of just staying top and farming. She had to go down bottom. That was the problem with starting with that aggressive tri-lane. They almost got a couple of kills up there, but it did not work out. But now Old 11 is still putting in a lot of pressure as Resolution takes a couple of counter helixes to the back of the head. And back and forth we go at 7.5 minutes. Lanham is rotated mid, and Weehaw has at least one clone.
And Moo is moving. I like the way DC are constantly keeping heroes off the map. The Legion Commander showing herself for now, but Moo,
he's got Vendetta
not visible,
ready.
has that Vendetta.
Yeah, there's Observer Wards.
And Misery also constantly ganking.
There's Observer Wards, but they're a little further up. Although he has been spotted now, they see him. They're going to ping him out and know that he's there. So now Ice 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 can farm with a little bit more, I guess, certainty. But there is the Vendetta that was just used. I'm not sure if that was spotted. I think it was. Fenrir as well as Ice 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 are going to back up for the time being.
They saw him walking along that ridge anyway, so they may have some idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Can definitely solo kill Fenrir though.
I think they need to back up and be under that tower. Otherwise, that's a free kill. If Fenrir was in the process of pulling, I believe, but the pull is done now.
Yeah, Fenrir may die here. Ice 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 does have Son though, but even forcing out the Son is still a win for DC.
Well, this looks like a single pull. I want to push now, but there's no siege creep coming yet. All right, well, Resolution, he's getting room to work with now. He's got 41 CS as we speak. Only 5 behind the Juggernaut and 5 behind the Axe as well. And Resolution is not getting jungle farm. He's getting straight up farm from this lane. And the question is, what does he go for first? It's been a lot of Blinks. Shadow Blades, obviously, has been another choice.
I like Blink. I think Blink or Shadow Blade is fine. Some sort of initiation item. All you need to do is run around and lock down heroes that Meepo blows up. So Nick's getting a Blink for sure. Legion Commander, Blink or Shadow Blade is okay. I would lean towards the Blink because it's easier to get. And
there's so many Invis heroes too that I think it's just too much. That they will severely invest in sentries at that point.
I think just double Blink on these guys, and then once they have it, they just go ham on ganks.
Yep.
Misery can transition into that backup late game option if he gets involved in the kills. Go for the Aghanim Scepter, give them a plan B, but plan A is just kill everyone on the back of the Weepo. And so far, I would say they are executing plan A pretty damn well.
Yeah, I mean, Misery, first of all, knows that he's really good with this hero. Number 2, like you said, because of the Aghanim Scepter change, like if you get it early enough, and we've seen players like Chemo do that and actually have super success with it. Meanwhile, down bottom, Ice 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 has got his illusions up. Fenrir sitting behind, waiting for a disruption, and I think Moose should know this. There's 2 heroes.
It's a very strong defensive setup with the Shadow Demon at the tower. And the Naga, even if the Shadow Demon gets caught, can just song, but forcing out the song's still worth it.
So the Vendetta, pretty long duration, pretty short cooldown, all things considered, and he'll scout out at least the jungle and show that there are only 2 bottom for the time being, but everyone now convening towards mid, including the Fenrir Shadow Demon, as well as the Solanum Undying if they want to make it go on something. I feel like is there urgency for EHOME right now, or no?
Yes, this is a very poor start by EHOME. They did not shut down the Legion Commander in lane. They have not done anything to do with the Meepo. They don't have an early Axe Blink. Naga is not farming. Jug doing decently doesn't really matter. Like, they have to slow down the Meepo snowball, and they're going to try for either by killing him or by mega punishing the rest of the team, which they will go for now. Maybe expecting him to be in the jungle as he was not scouted off towards the mid lane, but this needs to work. They have to start getting kills on the board.
They see an illusion and they take it through one.
Nice baiting by Old 11.
Jump in. There's going to be the call. Resolution in trouble. Press the attack. They have duo. The arrow comes out, hits I think Old 11, but it doesn't do enough damage. They need to TP out now. They need to make it through. And Resolution TP not successful. And Misery, as well as of course Zoxar, is still there. Resolution in trouble. Or Shadow Poison.
Blade?
They've got it, but he's not there in time. Another Shadow Poison should bring him down. Oh, the Shadow Wave from long range as Meepo gets a kill on Ice 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 in the off lane, and they're finally getting the kill. They have to use Omni Slash for it.
That was a 4-hero rotation. They kill a Legion Commander. Weeha kills the enemy carry, and he's taking the tower. That is a big win for the side of DC.
Wow, that's so disheartening. All that time spent top lane to get
that feels real bad.
To get that 1 kill, and then they still lose Ice 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 bottom for like nothing.
I'm as distraught as you sound, Mott.
DC, our
Suns fan somewhere in the distance, is cackling, rubbing his fingers together and smirking.
I'm sadder that we missed the Meepo kill because we were really invested in that top kill. I know I was, so.
Yeah, Ice 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 must have been a bit low. Maybe Weeha had an Invis rune, but normally you could just song and run away, so. I don't think Naga will not die from full HP, especially, well, you know what? Actually, I think he just bought the Raindrops. Raindrops are okay against Meepo, but there's so much magic damage and so many instances of it that it's by no means, it's not a counter for it the way it is for like a Zeus or something.
I feel like the decision to aggressively try lane and Ice Ice Ice's decisions overall in this game, maybe not the best, or at least not what they've been throughout this entire tournament. This is one of those games where EHOME just don't look as good as they've looked so far in DC. They got the Meepo. Maybe that tilted them a bit. I mean, honestly, giving away the Meepo to Weeha is just so difficult to deal with. And now they have to deal with this farmed guy getting an Aghanim Scepter here within a couple, at least 1,000 or some odd gold.
Well, still waiting on the old 11 blink. It's a pretty fast blink, but Meepo just explodes as they move on mid, first duel of the game.
There's the Vendetta Impale, easy victory, but can they follow it up for EHOME? Can they find a return kill? No blink on old 11. Soxa will walk into a call. Well, Resolution's gonna TP home and says, "You're on your own, my friend," and he'll use his stick charge.
Well, Moo might be able to save him here. Good disruption, though.
Yeah, they're just gonna look for an Impale, and here comes Weeha. Soxa has got another Shadow Wave ready to go, but now the song popped for Ice Ice Ice. He's ready to fight.
They have no mana on old 11. He can maybe chop Soxa down with a Riptide, but he can't kill Weeha as well.
That Grave will not save you, and they're gonna actually just poof out and TP away with Moo. Soxa went a little too far.
All of that and the song, plus 5 heroes coming mid just to kill a Dazzle. Misery farming. Weeha right back to the jungle.
Yeah, Weeha was still farming with his other clones when that was happening. So I mean, he only brought one clone there. That is the great thing about Meepo.
There's the thing with Meepo is he's a lot like Nature's Prophet or Tinker, where you can go for a gank, and if it doesn't work out, you can immediately go back to farming because you just poof away to your clones.
Top lane.
Or you leave that one clone elsewhere.
Old Chicken has to Blade Fury away as Weeha gets an Earthbind. Now, poofing away elsewhere.
Vendetta, can he
oh
slow
my
down
God.
old 11's blink? I think even if he kills him, old 11 still has it.
Will not die to the neutral either. And Moo, he's got Spike Carapace too. And I don't really think that old Lana could bring him down. He can't slow him. And they didn't have Ensnare on the Nagastar. And so, yeah, that's huge.
No sentries versus a Nyx. That is sloppy Dota
He's
from
still
EHOME.
going to get his Blink Dagger in 20 seconds, but that's...
Sloppy Dota from EHOME, though. You cannot be farming Ancients, especially when DC already saw them without detection.
Omni Slash at the ready. Resolution will take it. Level 1, Blade Fury to fall. Press the attack, not there, and he should fall. Resolution down for 38. Big kill for Old Chicken. They need a lot more of that.
Quick rotation by DC, though, now, as they move towards the bottom lane.
They drop down a very aggressive Observer Ward that is just out of range of the Sentry. However, they should have seen it with the Observer Ward they have here. Okay, that's not a good sign. They don't have any more sentries on him anyway. They have another one on Lana that they should be using. There's that Aghanim Scepter, though, that we were talking about for the Meepo. Gives you that extra clone. And again, Weeha is having a heck of a game. His XP per minute is going to start climbing even further than it already is right now. It's 566.
Yeah, they got a Meepo problem. We've seen a lot of Huskaring this tournament, a bit of Drowing. We have not seen too much Meepoing, but it's going to happen.
Moo has been scouted bottom lane as he is sitting around a Sentry Ward. Old Chicken is just playing it cool right now, but here comes the rest of DC as Soxa and Weeha's smokes have broken.
Good use of the illusions here, scouting out one Meepo down in the river.
Moo should know that something is up right now. Like, they're all moving around and...
Oh, the sentries are there. EHOME playing stupid, running in circles. Moo's like, hey guys, I found them! I found them!
He goes on the Lonum. The Blade Fury will fall up. Here comes the Earthbind. Lonum, and it gets disrupted now. Poof only, I think one went off there for Meepo. Now jumping. Call coming out. Old 11 gets one chop. Can he get two? He misses. No, he gets the second onto the Meepo. Three dead. That was an amazing call, and Resolution will be the fourth to go down. EHOME, that is huge.
It's a trap! It's a trap!
Oh my God.
Oh dear, that was the fight they needed. EHOME, just such calm, patient play. Moo led them into complete disaster. Juggernaut running in circles there. Might even have auto attack on, and one just wants to make sure he doesn't accidentally hit the Nyx, but Old Chicken played him like a fiddle. Great shot calling from EHOME. That's one way to get back in the game versus a Meepo. Suddenly, Old Chicken almost has a Battle Fury, a 4,000 gold swing, 3,000 experience change. Oh boy, we got a ball game here, Maud.
That was a perfect
That was
play.
the best bait I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, like, it looked like Old Chicken, like, it looked like the Impale came through and, like, they were gonna maybe actually lose.
I mean, he got the Impale off, impaled Lanham, but then Lanham was disrupted.
Exactly,
they got the Tombstone off, and then I think 4 Meepos as well as 1 or 2 other heroes got called.
Oh, what an arrow onto Old Chicken in this top lane.
Here, though. They cannot
I
go
don't
on
think
that.
there's any follow-up with Misery, just showing that he could hit these arrows. He was very far away from that target. That was impressive. But anyway, going back to that bait play, I mean, it's the sheer fact is that he just got the blink. They had disruption ready to go for the Shadow Demon in case anyone got caught out, and they did avoid the Impale on the Juggernaut. So that's the most important things in that engagement. And then all of a sudden, the call comes through. They fight in a choke point, and Axe is just like, let's go, baby.
That was the ultimate trap. That might be the best bait I've ever seen. And I feel like I've been playing Dota for a while, Mon. I don't know about you.
That was
but
a Alliance tier bait, honestly.
that for me actually beats the Nature's Prophet Roshan Suicide because that play by Alliance only works the one time. Like that, and that only works if your opponents aren't thinking. And granted, it was really clever, but that EHOME play, that can work any game if you execute it correctly. That was really impressive.
Well, Blink Dagger is picked up for Nyx Assassin. They're still getting items, all things considered, and now they're going to go for Roche as well, but this is taking a little bit longer. Even with, I think, a double damage rune on the Meepo, it's really just taking a little too long. As there are heroes coming over. Sentry was placed down by Lanham. Now the Moonlight Shadow will come out, and they'll back up together as a squad. Blink Dagger on the Nyx Assassin, a little bit low on the Weehaw Meepos, and Ice 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 looking to Song and will chase. And they're going to turn their attention to Moo and Misery.
Meanwhile, where's the Meepo? He's backing up. It looks like they move on to Moo, gets up the characters.
Nice
2 heroes
fail.
done. Well played. Goes for the TP. Do they have a way to cancel it? They do in the form of the disruption. But Meepo coming back in. Lets the net go from distance. They will sacrifice Moo.
Yeah, that's...
A good disengage there. Can they steal Roshan? EHOME are going to try for it, but they're fairly slow at Roche. They do have Juggernaut, though. And taking Aegis away from Meepo is a pretty damn big deal.
Riptide helping out as well, reducing the armor. It's very big for EHOME, and it looks like they will not be contested in any way, shape, or form. The arrow might hit. Ooh, almost hit Fenrir keeping out, but no, it's going to be Old Chicken grabbing it. And all of a sudden, EHOME have this distinct advantage in
Juggernaut
this
is out farming Meepo. That should not be happening. That fight changed everything.
It really did. I mean, Weeha's still going to out-farm him, probably, in the next couple of minutes.
He should pull ahead, but it's like an Alchemist game, right? You should be 3-4K gold ahead of the enemy heroes, and heavily out-leveling them in the case of a Meepo as well.
That fight, I mean, we could talk about it for days, but honestly, it was just that fight that changed everything.
I want to watch that like 50 times in a row.
Well, good news, it'll be on Reddit later, so you can check it out.
The most masterful bait I've ever seen.
A
thing of beauty.
All
right, but the game does continue.
Well, Resolution, by the way, builds up an Echo Saber, and I wanted to ask your opinion about this because it's not something we see very often for a Legion Commander. This Legion is...
Helps you burst heroes down during duel.
Yeah.
It's good for finding solo pickoffs. It's a very cheap item. And just easy to build up, so...
But
generally with Legion, you see him more as an initiator, but they already have the Nyx for that, so, and Moonlight Shadow, so I think because of that, you can get away with going Echo Saber first, and it's also a really good farming item.
You still go Blink next, right? In this situation?
Yeah, I mean, either Blink or, as you suggested, could be Shadowblade. I think Blink is better.
T1 tower bottom lane, Ice is coming in smoked up and is trying to deny, but there is another smoke on the opposite side of the map that is EHOME looking for any target really at all, and it's going to be the Meepo.
They find Weehaw.
That is a dead Weehaw, I'm almost certain. In fact, they use not only the Omni Slash, but they're able to chop him down as well with Demonic Purge on top of it all. So that is a dead Meepo for 48 seconds. However, the bait is being set up down bottom, the gank, I should say, as he's under the tower, was spotted out. Moo thought about going in, and we'll see an illusion now, but that shouldn't really...
Well, I said Old 11 was the guy who had to turn the game around, but man, oh man, has he delivered or what? 3-1-5, and he did nothing for the first, what was it, 10, 15 minutes of this game?
This is why we were so interested about the Axe pick.
He tried to gank mid with no boots, and from a mile away, and it completely failed. He calmed down then, he went back to the jungle, but he didn't have a very impactful start, and all of a sudden, he is the linchpin of this draft, keeping them in the game, finding pickoffs, and allowing EHOME to take back control.
Yeah, I mean, this game is still up for grabs. At 3,000 net worth advantage for EHOME is pretty much nothing. Although a Nagasara now getting room to work with, now as the Relic. 20 minutes, not the fastest Radiance, but it doesn't matter. As it is going to be the Shadowblade, I guess, for Legion Commander.
I don't think DC have late game at all. If it was just the Naga versus Meepo, I think you can win late. But when the Jug also is Battle Fury, and the Naga is going Radiance, Mirana Ag's still a ways off, so even if she tries to become a carry, it'll be a very late transition, so I do favor EHOME here. Plus, I still think Axe is an amazing hero to deal with Meepo later on. Even if the Meepo can kill him, it locks him down for huge durations in the team fight.
I think you're right. I think EHOME's late game certainly is better. I mean, again, we've often seen Legion commanders really fall off, but this is a Legion that has not had the start that a lot of other Legions have had, where, you know, you'll get maybe a couple of duels to start things off. She's had one. So that's not a great engagement or a great start for the Legion, and they're going to smoke up and try to take Resolution out after he's picked up the Shadow Blade. He's got it on cooldown for another 5 seconds. He needs to be careful. Radiant Scan coming out, not successful. Dire TPing up Moo as well. This could maybe even be worse for DC if they lose 2 here.
Blink in from Moo under cover of Vendetta. There's a
Going the wrong way, though.
Sentry. He's out of range of it.
Blink, and he's not already, actually, Shadow Blade. He's not going to get it off. Omni Slash, and again, another kill for Old Chicken.
And now Ice does have the Radiant, so he can slow the game down, keep the lanes de-pushed. Moo not able to connect for a gank there. We had to go for the Blink Dagger, so a deviation here from Abed, who opted for the double Dragon Lance first, and then went into Blink E-Blade, if I recall correctly.
I mean, it's clear that he could still die to like a couple of good counter Helix procs, which is what happened in that last fight. Whereas if he actually had maybe 2 Dragon Lances or just a single Dragon Lance, he might be more survivable in that instance. Weehaw will take the tier 1 tower mid with under the cover of a Moonlight Shadow, but top tier 2 is getting assaulted as well. That's a pretty important tower kill as they try to bring this down with no issues whatsoever.
After the start they had, it was starting to look bleak. And they're not out of the woods yet. Meepo with the Blink Dagger, closing in on the full 5 Meepo squad. Not quite there yet, but they'll have a bit of a boost at that point. It was a Shadow Blade for Resolution, so it's going for more of the carry build. I don't feel like Silver Edge does anything particularly crazy this game.
What passives are there? I guess Blade Dance from Jug.
That's
damage reduction,
underwhelming.
maybe from anybody else? No,
general
really.
damage reduction.
Ooh, counter
is okay.
Helix might be pretty good to stop. That's probably.
But then that also means you're running next to the axe and getting caught by the call, quite likely. So.
Usually, yeah.
We'll see. It's just, if you're a Legion commander, you've died 4 times, you've won 1 duel at 23 minutes, you really haven't done your job. Whether you're going for a farmy build or a ganky build, you pick the hero to win duels, and he's been unable to do so thus far.
I've seen very few
unless you're
Legions.
Unless you're Lanham, and then you just pick him for press the attack.
Old 11 was one of the few successful Legions I think I've seen so far in this tournament, and just about in general. Every time I see a Legion in a professional Dota game dating back to when she was released, I feel kind of underwhelmed half the time.
They might go for a pickoff here. They have Song ready top. They're pressing in bottom. I think Ice is hoping to see more heroes top and then set up his team.
Wow.
He leads with the Song. He gets the tower deny with the illusions. Just small little micro plays by Ice. But Weehaw is also looking to pounce bottom. He can't easily
They
kill
need
Jug.
more. They have 3 heroes top lane, and there's 4 coming out for EHOME.
Jug can always just Blade Fury.
This is, if they walk into this is danger. Or rather, Old 11's going to walk into Misery with a Blink, and then a chop will find his head on the ground.
Weehaw's like, yeah, I'm not really sure what to do about that. Maybe we'll just farm the jungle with his other 3 Meepos.
And they're going to push the tier 2 tower top lane. Again, another non-important tower. Whereas this one, the Roshan tier 2 tower for DC is being assaulted as well. They still have mid, obviously, which is nice to have, but not like to give away too many towers. They'll let it go down to Jug. So that's why it's done for him.
Jug is still out farming Meepo at 24 minutes.
I guess with the Battle Fury, he's able to do so. I mean, the fact it's that he's getting farm and he's also getting 1 or 2 kills every couple of minutes.
And he's getting tower last. Like, he's getting everything.
Yep.
Tower last hits, 0 kills,
Sentry
creeps.
scouted out Moo, I believe, for a moment there. Bottom lane, they bring down Fenrir. It's a dual victory as well, and that's the real important thing.
So Weehaw waits for a while in the trees with the main Meepo, but the nice thing about Meepo is you can do that and you're still farming with the other 4,
yes,
so
exactly.
He hits level 17, he's got the full 5 Meepos to work with now. Would like to see DC find that next level of aggression. The Misery Ags, I think, pretty close. Yeah, has the Ogre Club, just needs the final piece. Mechanism online. They're going to see a big power spike when they pick up those 2 items.
They get the arrow onto Old Chicken. Starstorm will come out. He's very tanky. They need to leave now.
So that's why making the difference. They're going to lose move for this.
Yeah, he's going to get called. No counter Helixes. Good spike carapace, but I don't think he's making it out. He throws up the Impale, and he's done to the Blade Fury.
Another kill for Jug.
This and again, another game where it feels like Moo's impact pretty much negligible. It was the same thing with the Sand King. This game, it feels sort of similar.
I feel like he's had more impact than Resolution, at least. Moo did find some early pressure. Being off the map also has value in and of itself to an X.
Yeah, I think he's done a good job scouting for sure.
But yeah, he's not taking the game over, which is what we saw last game. So a little disappointing in that sense. As they smoke, they might find Resolution. He's in a pretty good position to reveal this and get away. Shadow Blading in behind EHOME. He has not yet caught anyone. And with the smoke move speed, They might actually just totally
Dire
dodge
scan
him.
almost connecting. That's actually a dire scan, just kidding, not radiant skin. I spoke too
They
soon.
find themselves, but find nothing else beyond that. I might have been just...
They see Rezo with the illusion. He's got Shadow Blade. Jules comes out from old 11. The call will be there. And that'll
You
be...
told me! God.
I said good day, sir.
That's just been the last couple of minutes, really, in a nutshell. Is just one hero dying, and Resolution has been it for a couple of times. Wow, that is a ridiculous scan.
What?
All right, well, he's dead.
Oh dear.
How do they see him?
Did he blink out?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
You might as well poop in with the rest of your clones, but I guess it's too late at that point.
Oh my god.
That scan is insane. I don't know how they did it. But
Alright, someone needs to go check those EHOME computers, Mott.
they must have seen him some other way.
I think they saw him pushing the lane and then he went MIA, and Meepo players do often tend to hide in the trees, so there's some logic behind it, but still, man, what are the chances?
And Snare on Demu, he's been scouted out. Spike Carapace, but I mean, he's got nothing left in the tank.
DC, it's been an immaculate group stage run. One more win, and they win the group. They walk into TI6 already as one of the favorites to make a run in the upper bracket. And to even have the choice of opponent to guarantee themselves with one best of 3, a top 6 finish, they may lose control of their fate in that sense. And it could be, what is it now? It's Newbie and Liquid, the third and fourth team.
Newbie is secured third.
And then other teams duke it out for fourth.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of waiting on right now, if not already.
Suddenly, maybe you're facing a very undesirable opponent.
Because we don't know because we're casting, but at this point it looks like we're waiting on the last 2 teams is MVP Phoenix and Liquid, and well, right now.
Well, close. Doesn't count in Dota.
Oh, Secret beat.
As we saw in the Alliance match earlier.
Secret beat Liquid, and now that's really wow. I thought Liquid was actually winning that game for a while.
I agree. That is really well. And this could be 2. Resolution creeping in. Walks right by old chicken.
Oh,
and
wow.
blink out. And then the blink in. I'm the real dueler now, says Old 11. Drake Resolution back straight to the outside side. Decisive decapitation, and then bounces onto Saksa.
Neck was too late. Saksa will break himself only to get chopped down a moment later, it looks like. And there it is. Old 11 with an unstoppable spree, and they will back up for DC, getting routed. But Old 11 is not done yet. He's found the Yules on the next assassin. He'll try to catch him out of position. The Spike Carapace will keep him alive for a moment. Good impale, only on the Lonaman. The blink is even better, but Misery, he's been ensnared. With a Shadow Poison, he will leap away to safety.
11, is he gonna go deep? And
thought about it. Man.
I like this item pickup a lot from Old Chicken. Gets the BKB.
Yep.
Meepo is all, I would say, not all magic damage, but he's predominantly about magic burst. So if you have BKB, you can now man fight him, just constantly be right clicking him, and when Juggernaut gets one more item, he's gonna win that fight head on, or at least with a
they found a bottom as well for the poop in. They need to bring down this first one. The disruption actually saves Weehaw for a little bit of time, but the ensnares coming through the Earthbind again. Now there, Weehaw is still in trouble, and that Weehaw one clone should fall. Was left into the lane. It was close to almost being able to kill that axe, and that would have been something special. But he does fall on his dead for 66 with no buyback.
Old 11 taking over the game. 8-1 and 8 now on the axe. You pick Dazzle versus EHOME. They will take Axe if you leave it there. I can't believe it got through to 5th pick. I actually thought EHOME would take it 3rd. But
that's, again,
here we are now.
The 3rd pick Dazzle is really what I think maybe...
You could totally understand why they picked Dazzle, right? Because Heal Bomb is amazing with the Meepos. It gives you a lot of burst damage. It's a really good support to secure the laning stage, and Meepo needs a good start. And on top of that, Grave can be so good on Meepo. If you have that one low HP one and then you grave him, you poof him out or TP him away, and then all the others come in and fight, and then you bring that one back. There's some real playmaking potential and synergy between the two. But unfortunately, Axe has just ruined that plan entirely.
Yeah, I think if there's no Dazzle, you still pick the Axe anyways. I mean, well, you saw how successful it was here. I don't know if they thought it was going to be as good as it was, but it certainly did its job. And, you know, we talk about a lot about other Meepo counters like Earthshaker and Lich, but Axe in that position and that offlane played by Old 11 was pretty damn good.
It's been a show.
Yeah, it really has. And it just keeps getting out of control. You know, it was little by little. They were only like 4,000 net worth up even after that fight. Now they're 14,000 net worth up and looking for more kills. And the bloodbath is never sated for EHOME at this point. And we haven't really talked about Ice, who's the main carry in this game.
Yeah, there's a Naga in this game.
Besides the Juggernaut, and he is a Radiance Manta, Boots of Travel. So Ice is still doing pretty well. And a Gem too.
Song has been instrumental this game. They got the tower denied top, they set up the kill on the Meepo bottom. And I think also more importantly, it's the clock factor, where DC feel like with Jug going Battle Fury, and Naga having an okay Radiance timing, suddenly they can just take it late and expect to win by default. With Legion going for a farmy build, they're under pressure. They have to make plays. They have a one position safe laner. Well, he's not really the one position, but a safe laner, the Legion, that's supposed to be getting kills and snowballing. A Meepo mid is supposed to snowball, and if neither are, then it feels like you're on the clock. So EHOME, psychologically, that's where the Naga has a big impact. But yeah, as far as her actual presence in the game, she's just hitting creeps.
So for this Smoke of Deceit gank, which I completely understand DC making, it is still kind of, I think, predictable, and you can see EHOME not stopping because of this. They're immediately going high ground with Old Chicken, or at least thinking about it. And then again, the disruption. The illusions, they'll see she has plenty of right-click damage to do some serious work this tier 3 tower. Luckily, the glyph is there. But I mean, DC might get this tower, but they need to back immediately and defend their base.
I think they're gonna lose in a base race here. They're very far behind when it comes to tower damage.
They need to come home and defend as quickly as possible.
Or do they? They're committing, but Ice with the cock block just songs the whole enemy team. They're gonna take a rack.
She get a full rack here because of that.
And then walk away. Alright, if Song wasn't already instrumental, it certainly has been now.
That's ridiculous. That's a full set of racks. Canceled TPs perhaps, I'm not sure. No, it looks like he just stopped them.
They're gonna Moonlight Shadow. Old 11, he goes back in. This man knows only one direction, mod, and that is forward.
Good poof out though from We How to Stay Alive, and they might be able to take this fight.
5v5 now. Naga TP'd in.
Good Yules. That's defensive Yules on his own. He's maybe gonna get impaled by Moo. Just came off cooldown now. They're looking to finish up this tombstone, which has been annoying. And it finally will get dropped, but everyone's backed out already for EHOME, and fighting into that tombstone is maybe one of the reasons why they didn't want to go for DC.
He's the gem carrier. They already took the racks. Like, that was such a clean grab. Song's on cooldown, and Old 11's like, yeah, I'm going in, guys. Doesn't get the kill, but it shows you the confidence they have in their team. This could be a kill, though. Blake, disruption. Axe not going to go this time.
No, they are going to play it a little bit safer. And, well, the illusions are coming into the base now with... the creeps, of course, coming in as well. They can start hitting the buildings.
Meepo is so far behind now.
I don't think he can't kill Old Chicken. That's why he proofs out. I don't think he can kill that hero, and he is very far behind for a Meepo, especially for a Meepo. Those kills, those deaths hurt him so much. 4 deaths in this game. Yeah.
Now the Ocarina on Naga, so even easier for EHOME to start sieging.
They don't have the team fight to be able to have that like dramatic black hole, that dramatic vacuum wall to get back into the game. You know, they have.
And EHOME don't even have to go. Oh, chickens.
And even that, like, they just Starstorm and Mystery's gone too far. The call will come through, but maybe the call too early. Doom onto Lanham, or excuse me, a duel rather. Old Chicken taking a lot of damage. There's the Omni Slide. This might be a good fight for DC.
It doesn't actually do much to the Meepo, but Old 11 trying to lock him down again. Has the call, waiting for the song to end. Old Chicken still has the Aegis, and he's going to BKB. They focus one. Little Meepo down. Tweed a fall. Moo next. Chopped up. And spit out, and with that, the Marana 2,
That's
GG.
it.
The Weepo has been slain, and EHOME are your Group B champions.
I think you've got to be disappointed if you're Digital Chaos. That one team fight actually changed the entire complexity of the game, and it just didn't ever. It never went their way again. They never had a kill.
That fight won EHOME the game. Sometimes you'll see a big team fight and it's the highlight of the game, but it's not the reason why they won. That's fight actually won them the game.
And yes, I understand DC are disappointed, but it's still an amazing group stage run from both teams. And